not in Kansas anymore.
You have my curiosity.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
The Force will be with you. Assemble.
Welcome back to Get Real, the podcast where we get real about all of your favourite pop culture movies and TV shows. My name is Sam, and with me, as always, is my episode 2 to my episode 1, Chris.
Excellent. I didn't know where that intro was going, but
You said you'd come up with a good intro for this. Is that something you're going to be able to repurpose for future episodes?
Not really. It was very much based on the context of episode 2 of The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
But I was gonna what was it now? With me as always is my egg guzzling, adorable little baby chasing co-host Sam.
Ooh, egg guzzling. Oh no. Oh no.
Egg chomping, egg guzzling, egg swallowing, I don't know.
Jeez. Egg guzzling.
Egg
right.
munching.
Anyway, this is episode 48. We're going to talk about episode 2 of The Mandalorian and a couple of other bits and bobs because it's a little bit bleak in terms of movie stuff, isn't it?
Nothing has happened.
Literally nothing has happened.
I've got some very minor headlines.
Well, I mean, you know, the show must go on, as people say. We've got to carry on with this, haven't we? So
Yeah.
I think I'm clipping as well, to be fair. That's no good, is it?
Woof.
Very unprofessional,
Woof.
Sam. Very unprofessional. Anyway, what have you been watching this week, Chris?
Still rewatching Always Sunny. Started rewatching Community.
Mm-hmm.
Season 8 of Modern Family came on Netflix, so we binged through that. But last night I did watch Borat's subsequent movie film.
Okay.
Finally got round to seeing it. That is so fun.
Well, we could probably
It's
talk
so
about that
funny.
on this episode, right?
We could talk about it a bit. Yeah, we
Yeah.
already discussed it a bit. We could fly through it for. Do you want to talk about a couple minutes of it now then? And then we will dive into the news and stuff.
Should we move on to it before we talk about Mando? Maybe, like put it in like the main.
Yeah,
section?
we'll do news and then we'll do a little bit of Borat. And then
Yeah, because I didn't realize
because
you watched Borat, so-
it's very topical
oh
for
extremely
what's just
topical.
happened in the world.
Yeah, it's extremely topical.
Okay. What else have I been watching? I feel like I've watched something else. Charlotte wanted to start watching kind of a holiday-esque movie, so we watched The Holiday.
Okay.
And Jude Law just needs to like chill, you know what I mean? Like I said to Charlotte, I was like, do you think this was like cast and written by like a woman, or something like that, or directed by a woman? Because it's like Jude Law's not attractive enough in this scene. Oh wait, he pulls out glasses and puts on glasses. Now he's the charming single widowed dad wearing glasses,
Amazing.
trying to swoon Cameron Diaz. It's like, come on now, he doesn't need anything else to be attractive. It's like Henry Cavill. It's like, just stop now.
Yeah,
You don't need to put effort into making him attractive. He just is, okay?
Literally.
Yeah. I think I watched something else, but it's just not come into my mind. I was still watching horror films last weekend, so
Oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Oh, it feels. So
What have you
long
been
ago.
watching?
Feels so long ago.
It does.
Halloween.
It does. We've had bonfire night now.
I know.
Also, I was talking about this. How weird is it for Britain as a country to still have a holiday celebrating a would-be terrorist, and you just get your kids around to burn an effigy of a human man on a fire? Isn't that just such a bizarre fucking thing that
When
we
you
celebrate
really think
over here?
about bonfire night, yeah, it is a little bit that, isn't it?
You basically celebrating like almost terrorism.
And then you all put a Guy Fawkes mask on as anonymous, and it's like,
You take down a totalitarian. That's what we should have done this week. We should have covered V for Vendetta because it was bonfire night.
oh, we've missed it. Right, we're gonna end this episode. Go watch V for Vendetta, and then come back.
I've watched it enough times. I can talk about it. Give me any Alan Moore property, and I'll talk your ear off
That's
about it.
another film that I've never watched. V for Vendetta.
You've not seen V for? Oh, bro,
No,
bruh, such a good film.
terrible host, me. Absolutely awful.
Right, we need to actually do a series where we just make Sam watch films that he's not seen. We need to make you watch The Godfather.
Yeah, literally. I need to watch all these classics. Right, I mean, yeah, is that everything?
What have you been watching? What have you been watching?
So I've watched. I continued with The Walking Dead. So I finished. I finished season 8 now. So we're 8 out of 10.
Where I finished.
So I've watched the end of the Negan arc. So you think?
Yeah.
So you think?
The
Anyway.
yeah the finale standoff between Negan and Rick under the tree.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Actually,
That was the
episode-
last episode I ever watched.
that episode, very good. Very good.
It was very
like
good.
me. My girlfriend hasn't watched it for ages, right? And we sat down and like I was watching it, and then she was like really getting distracted because of like how good it was, and yeah, I was genuinely really surprised with the way it went, and the fact that little twist at the end of that episode with I don't want to, in case anyone decides to go watch it, but what basically helps them win that fight was pretty good. But yeah, other than that, what have I been watching? I watched Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh,
Yes. Very
it's
good.
such a good film.
A very good film. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf is very good in that. And
Isn't it so just endearing as well?
like such a feel-good film at the same time.
You feel so positive coming out of it.
Yeah, I loved it. It's an amazing film.
It's the only time I've enjoyed Dakota Johnson. It's the only time I've ever enjoyed one of her performances.
Yeah, and the guy who plays the kid, Zach Gottsagen. Yeah, incredible. Like funny.
Yeah.
He absolutely owns that film and just kills it. Like right at the beginning, where he's like running out of the house and he's got like he's just got his boxers on and he's like lubed his way through those bars. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Like such a good film.
He just melts your heart throughout it.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. Couldn't recommend it more, to be fair. Especially if you just wanted a nice, easy watch, because we just wanted to watch something quite easy. You're not having to pay too much attention to what's going on. And yeah, it's brilliant. What else have I been watching? I'm currently halfway through Just Mercy, which is the Michael Jordan and Jamie Foxx and Brie
Michael
Larson.
B. Jordan, not Michael Jordan, the basketball player.
It's B for basketball, right? Michael Basketball.
Yeah,
Jordan.
yeah. Basket.
I thought it was the same person. Is it not?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Is it not? I thought he quit playing basketball to become an actor.
Sorry, yeah, my mistake. I got it all mixed up.
Trying to
I
make me
forgot
sound
that
like an
world
idiot.
famous.
Trying to make me
what
sound
was it?
like an
5
idiot.
times winning NBA superstar Michael Jordan played Eric Killmonger. I forgot that. I got mixed up. It's my bad. I hold my hands up, I'll admit it.
Oh god, how could you have been so silly? Anyway, no, we're fully
Well, how
aware.
did they leave that out of the Last Dance documentary as well? The fact that it was like a massive movie star other than just Space Jam. I mean, come on.
Look, we're fully aware it's not the same people.
Michael B. Jordan. Why didn't they cast Michael B. Jordan in the Space Jam sequel? If he's not in it, they've missed a fucking massive trick there, haven't they?
Oh, of course.
So they're like, oh, we've got Michael Jordan back, but it's the different Michael Jordan.
It's
bro.
Michael Basketball Jordan, not the...
Just wait for him to star in a film about baseball, and then it's Michael I nearly said basketball. You know,
Basketball.
Basketball is a film by the guys that make South Park. It's a comedy film.
You should have Michael A. Jordan, Michael Actor Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Basketball Jordan, and you can't get them
Michael
mixed
C.
up.
Jordan. He's a clinical psychiatrist. You got a Jordan for every letter of the alphabet.
Is it Michael C? Oh, what's the favorite Michael? Is it Michael C. Hall? Michael C. Hall.
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
Michael C. Hall.
Yeah. Serial killer with a C.
I was thinking of John C. Reilly.
Anyway, yeah, Just Mercy. I'm about halfway through
George
it.
W. Bush. Yeah.
I'm about halfway through it. George Whitehouse Bush. Sorry, I couldn't carry on what I was doing until I'd done that. So, oh my god,
I think this is the most I've ever laughed on one of these podcasts.
this is like the biggest of preambles that's got off topic.
It wasn't as bad as the preamble that we recorded before we started recording
Well,
the
yeah,
podcast.
I was talking about Star Wars D&D for like 10 minutes. God's sake.
We should probably delete that and start the podcast.
Yeah, we should probably do it because it's killing up hard. Anyway, right. Okay.
Check out Get Real Gaming if you want to talk about gaming.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
Did you like that?
We don't talk about gaming on here. Why would we talk
Segue.
about gaming on here? Anyway, Just Mercy seems pretty good. I'm really enjoying that as well. Obviously, I'm
Are the
halfway through it.
performances good?
Performances
Is
are very good.
Michael Fox in it as well?
Is Michael Fox in it?
I don't know. Who's the person he's representing?
He's representing Jamie
No,
Foxx.
not Michael Fox. Jamie Foxx.
Oh, right.
I've got Michael F. Jordan. Michael Fox Jordan.
Oh, sorry, Jamie.
That's who I was getting mixed up with.
Jamie Foxx with the double X.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Jeez.
They're not
My
quite.
head is mashed after all the Michael Jordan.
They're
talk.
not quite. Not safe for
Electro.
work. Jamie Foxx. He's like 1 X away from being.
Softcore, softcore Jamie Foxx.
What is wrong with him? Oh God!
There's no news to cover. There's not really a lot to
comedy
cover.
podcast, but it's just bad.
Don't go on is what we should name the podcast.
Oh, I like the pun. I like it. Anyway, it's a good film. It's good. It's got Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx, Brie Larson. It's got Tim Blake Nelson, who you know from Watchmen and The Ballad of Buster Scruggs from Netflix. He's in it. It seems good. I'm excited to finish it. Right. I think that's everything I've been watching, other than continuing on The Walking Dead. You know what? By next week, I might be able to give you my verdict on the full. Well, maybe not, because season 10 isn't actually on Amazon Prime, which is a bit sad.
No.
I'm taking suggestions on what to watch once I finish that, because I think I might go back and... Well, I need to... Oh, I've also been watching season 1 of The Mandalorian again. Just been going back and watching a bit of that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I think
you should rewatch either Always Sunny or Community.
No, I can't. I can't go through something that big again, because I've just gone off the back of The Walking Dead. And I think what I watched before I started watching The Walking Dead was Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so I can't.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Community then.
Maybe Community, maybe. I don't know.
Or do what I've been doing as well. I missed it off the list because it's not really that interesting, but I've watched like the entirety of Couples Come Dine With Me on Netflix because Charlotte loves it.
And you're watching it as a couple, so you can get
Yeah,
ideas.
we are. Honestly, I get so frustrated with everyone on that show. They're all just dickheads.
That's how you get on that show, right? No offense to anyone who's been on that show.
Just be an overly opinionated dickhead is how you get on that show. And then you'll get like one really sincere person, the rest of them are just fucking slamming them.
Yeah.
And then they don't end up winning because they're too nice and they give the dickhead with a shit meal the 10 points. Anyway. Right, news?
News stories.
News?
What's news? What's new?
What's
news?
What's news, pussycat? Yeah. Okay, so we've got our first look at Tom Holland on the set of Spider-Man. He's still wearing the costume from the end of Spider-Man Far From Home.
Double mask.
But he's double masking. He's like, he put it out on his Twitter, and I think the statement was like, oh, I've got it right here. Wear a mask. I'm wearing two. So he's there in his costume doing like a superhero landing pose, but then he's got like a white COVID mask over the face as well.
Yeah, he's got one of those serious business N95 masks, hasn't he?
He's got a 3M mask on. So that's what we know from the set of Spider-Man 3. We know that he'll be returning in the same costume. I think that's something that I always look forward to when there's a new Marvel film coming out, is the new costumes. Are they going to update it? Are they going to keep it the same? Is he going to get a new one partway through the film? I think once we start to find out more about where this film is going, like the possible rumors of the multiverse and stuff like that, will we see him get a different suit to combat this, or whether he'll go back to maybe the Iron Spider suit or something? That's something I'm always really interested in, like the progression of obviously Iron Man's armors throughout, but Captain America's outfit changes throughout them have always like blown my mind as well. I think that's one of the best costumes in the franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all that it's not a massive story, but it was just a funny little post that he put on, but we got to talk about his costume.
No sightings of other Spider-Men
Not yet. No Spider-Man on set.
No.
Or Spider-Woman on set either. Not yet, but we're still holding out hope. Next up, Jurassic World Dominion. So Jurassic World 3 has wrapped production. We called it a couple months ago when they started production. It seems like a fairly short production, but with Jurassic World, most of it's just CGI, so the amount of shots that they need to do in person isn't that massive. So that's finished production. What else have we got? This is one that it's not really a story, but we'll talk about it. The fact that scientists have discovered a new planet that sounds like Star Wars Mustafar. They've found a possible lava planet.
Sightings of half-burnt man.
An ancient mining civilization has been found on a distant planet. This is where we find out that the Star Wars franchise has just been a documentary all along.
We could only hope. In fact, no, would you actually want to live in the Star Wars world? Because there's a lot of really scary things that could kill you in the Star Wars world. Yeah,
but it was a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so the chances that they get here are slim, and the chances that they're still alive to get here are even slimmer.
That's you've fought me with some serious logic there.
Thank you. The Mustafar-esque planet has been classified as planet K2-141b.
They missed the trick there. They could have just done K2SO and been like...
that would have been good. Or like MU554R or something like that. So it's like Mustafar type thing.
Yeah, that would have been good.
It was announced by CBS News. The new discovery is a scorching hot planet hundreds of light years away, where oceans are made of molten lava, winds reach supersonic speeds, and rain makes rocks.
Wow,
that is terrifying.
That's where you're going to get sent to die. Honestly,
is this not just like the first circle of hell? Is that what we discovered, or is this like the D&D plane of not Eberron? I can't remember the name of it now. I ruined my joke by forgetting the name of it. one of the 7 hells in fucking D&D. Because we're nerds. If you didn't establish right now, we're nerds.
I mean, I don't know D&D that well.
They feel like one side of the planet reaches temperatures of over 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit. The rest of the planet is cloaked in a never-ending darkness, reaching frigid temperatures of negative 328 degrees Fahrenheit.
Look, people, 2020 is bad enough.
This is what would have happened if Trump got in for a second term. The ring of fire around the Pacific would have exploded, sending us into an eternal darkness, and the planet would have suffocated through an ash cloud layer.
Oh, dear.
Right?
Dear.
Anyway, do you have anything to mention about this story? I just thought it was weird, and we got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, I completely agree. In other news,
one last bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Go on. You go on.
All right, okay.
So, Netflix is experimenting with a channel of scheduled programming.
Okay.
So, it's going to have a block on its... this is... The rumours out at the moment. This is potentially what they're pushing forward, is the fact that... so, this came direct from Netflix to IndieWire, from the French department, apparently. So yeah, they're gonna have, you know how you flick through the channels of like new in US sitcoms, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You can go between TVs, movies, kid shows. I'm gonna guess they're gonna have one which is gonna be like a traditional TV channel, which will be like scheduled programming. They'll probably dip the toe in with one, maybe like originals. So it's like you'll have one episode of, I don't know what's the fucking original, Ozark, then Stranger Things, and then The Witcher or something like that. Later on, like after 9 o'clock, you could have The Witcher or something. I'm gonna guess that might be how they would go about trialing it.
Yeah.
And then like leading on from that, they could obviously make different channels for like different different genres maybe, or like a film channel, you know, like Sky Movies and stuff like that. Because then on the themed channels you could have like, okay, this one's going to play like Stranger Things like for a few hours, and then it'll go on to a different sci-fi property or something like that. That's how I would see this going. I think it's quite smart because then people might try out shows that they wouldn't normally watch. Also, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it with like just Netflix originals, or whether they would do it with other shows that are on the platform, because obviously they got licensing to show it, but then broadcasting it would take it away from the channels that produce them as well. So
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if they would have to pay extra to, you know, like rebroadcasting rights and stuff like that. But I think it would be pretty cool that, because like I said, like people would be able to try new shows that they otherwise wouldn't do. Like The Witcher is massive anyway, we know that, but like I know a lot of people that haven't watched The Witcher because fantasy stuff isn't really their bag. They won't watch they won't watch Lord of the Rings or anything, but if they turn on the channel and The Witcher's on and they see like a really cool episode, then they'll be like, oh fuck yeah, I'll watch The Witcher.
Yeah, defo. Plus, I mean, would this just exist on Freeview and you just wouldn't be able to do it on demand? Because would you then have to have a Netflix subscription in order to access this channel? Or
oh no, I believe it's going to happen on Netflix.
Oh,
so
okay.
So that'll be another thing. Would they increase your Netflix subscription if they start bringing on like televised like live channels all the time? I don't think they could, because people aren't really looking for that. People get it for the ease of accessibility. They can watch whatever they want whenever they want, wouldn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be on the Netflix platform. It's just going to be a 24-hour channel of programming.
Interesting. Cool. What else have we got in terms of news? So is that all your stories?
That's everything that I've got.
Yeah. Okay. So first story I've got is kind of something probably, you know, there's been a lot of stories this week, Chris. You know, there's been an election. England's
really? I hadn't noticed.
England's gone into another lockdown, in case you haven't
4:00.
noticed.
Really? Didn't notice. Didn't stay up till 4:00, like watching the election and the British news cycle. Nope, didn't do it.
But in addition to all that news, you probably saw the thing between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. That was televised quite heavily in the UK because it did take place in an English court, didn't it, I believe?
Yeah, because Johnny Depp was suing the Sun for libel for calling him a wife beater.
Yeah, and basically the news story relevant to us off the back of this is that he's been asked to step down as Grindelwald in his role with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, in the Fantastic Beasts franchise.
Correct,
yeah, I did see this, but we hadn't really spoken about any of this, so I was like, I'll leave it for now. Yeah, I don't know. I've never watched a Fantastic Beasts film because, to be honest, they don't seem that appealing to me. Like, I was done with Harry Potter after the films, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or after the Harry Potter storyline. And also they took one tiny short story from a little book and they made it into a fucking 5 films almost.
Yeah. Bit like, what does that remind you of? Maybe The Hobbit or...
Yeah, so it's not something that I'm like too bothered about. I think the main story in this is like the back and forth between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is like the main deal of this. Also, so you saw this the other day and you said to me, when did Johnny Depp get cast as Reverse Flash in the Flash movie?
Yes.
That's something that's circulating the internet apparently, and it's on like IMDb and fucking Google and shit like that, but I don't think he has. And also, Warner Brothers own DC, so if he gets fired off Harry Potter, if he is on The Flash, would he not get fired off that as well?
Well, I mean, you'd assume so, but it is weird that he's appearing as Eobard Thawne in all the, like you said, Google, IMDb. Well, I don't think he's appearing in IMDb, actually. I think it's just Google.
Right, okay.
So I don't know whether you can just go in and do that or not, but it has also got Grant Gustin in here. So
right, so it's just a mishmash of all the. Did you just type in The Flash or did you type in The Flash movie?
The Flash 2022.
Okay. Who knows? Maybe it's just the internet making bullshit up. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that has come out of this story is the fact that since from what I've seen, Johnny Depp lost the case suing the Sun for libel. And since then, Amber Heard has been brought back for reshoots for Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is a Warner Brothers property, and he has been let go from his, which, like, I'm not fully caught up on the entire situation between the two, but it seems like they were kind of both as bad as each other in that whole situation. They were both very much in the wrong on loads of different things.
Yeah.
And the fact that one person is getting treated better over the other just seems ridiculous. And the fact that one person's career is going down the pan while another one's, like, soaring seems really unfair as well. But I don't know the full situation. I wasn't there for any of the situations. I'm just going from what I've seen on the news, and I've not been keeping that up to date with it because it was just dragging me down too much.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I don't know if you can speak any more for it, but it seems really shitty what's happening to Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, there's two sides to a story, and as the public, we don't exactly know really what's been happening inside that court case, so it's probably not our place to say. But, you know, it's a real shitty situation for everybody involved, and, you know, from Amber Heard's side, having to go through it, and from Johnny Depp's side, the results of it. You know, it's one of them. It's one of them. But we're here for movies, and yeah, just to let you know that he's not going to be Grindelwald anymore. So he'll be an interesting way.
Are you excited for the Fantastic Beasts franchise?
I've not seen.
Haven't you seen two of them?
I haven't seen the second one. No, I've not seen the second one. I've only seen the first one, and it was fine. I don't really like Harry Potter, to be honest with you, Chris. I'm not massively into it.
You're not a big pothead now.
Potterhead. Some would say I'm not a big pothead, no. It's like I was sat watching
Potterheads, but I just said pothead.
The Lord of the Rings has been on TV, and I was like, nah, this is my Harry Potter.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Now that the Dark Knights are here, one Sunday I'm going to cuddle up on the couch with my 15-disc Blu-ray set of Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to watch all 3 director's cuts.
Very good.
It's definitely an autumn-winter day, that, isn't it? Like, Dark Nights, and you just stay in, get the fire on, get a nice drink, get some snacks, just absolute junk food, and watch 3 Lord of the Rings films for 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And my other little news story this week stems off the back of our main topic. Obviously, at the end of the Mandalorian episode 1, season 2, said that the wrong way around, but you get what I mean. We got a teaser at the end of it. If you've not watched it already, skip ahead about 5-10 seconds. It's Boba Fett, everyone. It's Boba Fett. He's at the end of that, we assume.
The Fetts.
So anyway, about said character, if you've skipped ahead, we can't mention his name anymore, or her name. But anyway, they will be getting their own Disney Plus miniseries, apparently.
What?
Apparently, it's very, very... It's not hot news. It's a bit like a cold news right now. But
Is this the world famous Roos Loomer's section? Is this a Roos Loomer?
Yeah, this is a hot Roos Loomer. That apparently there is going to be a miniseries of said character, and the article that I read said it was going to be filming as soon as next week. But I don't know how much I believe that. I think it's probably a steaming pile of Roos Loomer, to be honest with you. So it's not really news, so I don't know why I'm talking about it.
The call cut out then. I didn't hear what you said. You said a steaming hot pile of...
Oh, a steaming hot pile of Roos Loomer, I think it is. But, but we will see. We will see, because The Mandalorian is something that is still happening. So we may see whether or not that continues or not.
Love to see that.
But would it not just be The Mandalorian?
Yes and no.
Anyway, this is a topic for another time, because we don't want to spoil it yet.
You know for a fact, though, if they made that series, Disney Plus would be the most subscribed streaming service in the world.
Yes, it would.
Like, The Mandalorian was enough to get people on board.
True.
But imagine doing a series about, like, it's going to be the same level of excitement as the Obi-Wan series when that finally comes out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anyway, right, what trailers did you watch this week?
I watched one trailer, which you watched at the same time with me, for Jiu-Jitsu.
Steaming pile of Roos Loomer, this film.
No, this one is real. This one is confirmed. This is not just a loose rumor. A Roos Loomer.
Right, go on then. Tell us all about Jiu-Jitsu if you really have to.
Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, so what did he say? Every 6 years or every 60 years, a comet passes over the Earth and it opens a portal to another realm where a Jiu-Jitsu fighting ultra assassin jumps
Spaceman.
Spaceman.
They call him a
They
spaceman.
literally call him a spaceman. Comes through and he has to challenge the best jiu-jitsu artist on the planet. If not, he will kill everybody until he gets the fight. And this, if you hadn't guessed already, has Nicolas Cage in it, because of course it fucking does. Now, I saw this trailer, like I saw that there was a trailer for it, like, over a week ago, and I was like, nah. And then I found out Nicolas Cage was in it. I was like, huh. And then I find out that it's got Spaceman and it's a sci-fi jiu-jitsu film. I was like, huh. I was not prepared for this trailer. Like, it looks dog shit, but it looks... Do you know what it looks like? It looks like the best stuntman fight choreography show reel that you see on YouTube is what it looks like. Like, it's amazing fight choreography and the people that are in it are quality.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, it looks low budget as fuck. It just looks like, why is this a thing?
Yeah, it's pretty dog, to be honest.
But I still kind of want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the guy, the enemy, the bad guy, the spaceman, reminds me a lot of that that person, that one from what was it called? That Netflix original.
What?
What was that Netflix original called? Where it's Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Yeah,
okay,
it
it kind of reminded me of the Atlantean soldiers from Aquaman.
Yeah, a little bit.
With like the visors full of water and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's daft, really. To be honest.
It looks like one of the 2017 Power Rangers.
Yeah, basically.
But some of the lines in that trailer from Nicolas Cage, what was it that you said? I can fly too, and then it just cuts to a stunt double doing mad flips and shit. What was the other one? There's no honor in killing crazy. It's like, you fucking said it. This is clearly one of those films that, like, one of those Z-list films that Nicolas Cage has to do every year to fund his fucking comic book collection and his dinosaur bone collection. You know what I mean?
Literally.
He's still in so much debt. He's in so much debt from buying fossils and suits and comic books and shit like that, and like comic book memorabilia and stuff. I think he owns one of Christopher Reeve's Superman costumes. I might be bullshitting about that, but that's something that's in my head.
Wow. Incredible. Yeah.
So he always does like a few like Z-list films like this every year, and this is just one of them. Well, I will definitely be watching this at some point. It might take like 3 years, but I'm definitely going to watch it at some point.
At some point, when we've got nothing else better to watch, we will end up watching this.
We'll do a review of Jiu-Jitsu when it comes out.
Very good. I think...
Fuck me, cinemas are closed.
Main topic?
Yeah, main topic.
Before we talk about the main topic, do you want to chat a little bit about Borat 2?
Yeah, let's do a little bit of Borat.
Right, okay.
Do a quick little Borat. He's nice. We finally had dickheads at parties no longer did Borat impressions. We managed to get Borat out of our systems, and then Borat 2 comes out.
Believe it or not, I have got notes on Borat 2 from when we talked about Halloween, and I've got them right here in front of me.
Okay.
So, like, things that were just funny. So,
did you enjoy this film?
You know what? I never actually... I can't really remember the original Borat film. I definitely watched it, but this just felt so relevant, topical. Yeah. It felt very, very current. You know what I mean?
I think he started to do it, and then obviously the coronavirus hit and the election was coming and stuff like that. I think it was just going to be like a political satire, and then the coronavirus hit, and then it just became like he just rolled with the punches, and then he pushed it through to keep it relevant and stuff. I think it was genius.
Yeah, I think it became less of a story about Borat in America and more a story about political, just a disaster that's going on in 2020 right now. And I kind of enjoyed that because obviously it felt relevant. And a lot of the jokes were as crude as what you'd expect from Borat, but
some of them were more crude.
Yeah, but they were like good. They were like
Yeah,
there was things where they were like so current and so relevant that you were like, that's hilarious because you just wouldn't have expected something to be that on the nose.
Yeah, I was just in stitches throughout it. Like, I can't remember the last time I laughed that hard at a film.
Yeah, I mean, like it starts off where he's like McDonald Trump,
McDonald Trump,
and then there's like that monkey that gets eaten, and
Johnny the Monkey,
and
the number one entertainer and greatest porn star in all of Kazakhstan.
and then there's like the Jeffrey Epstein jokes are in there
Oh,
straight away. There's the may all your shits have antlers. it's just brutal.
I loved the Disney film of Melania Trump as well.
Oh yeah.
The Disney-fied
Because
version of Melania
there's the
Donald.
literal cartoon where he grabs her by the you know what. I'm not saying that word on the podcast, but the cartoon literally.
And it's that full on, like, the best recreation of a Disney style animation that I've seen since the Disney films were coming out. Like, since the end of like that era of Disney films with like Pocahontas and Mulan in the 90s, like. And it's just like Donald Trump getting a half chub, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's parts of this where I'm like, you can't really tell a lot of it whether it's legit or whether it's fake, like, you know, whether it's being acted or not, because like he goes to town on some of these people. There's like the bit where there's that plastic surgeon, and that plastic surgeon starts saying really suggestive stuff to his daughter, and it's like, is this real? Is this what?
Yeah,
No.
she says to him, it's just that, the bit that got me in that though, she's like, would you make aggressive sexual movements to me? Like, it's like, she's basically asking people, oh, would you please rape me? And I'm like, oh my God, you can't say this.
And then he's like,
would you make aggressive sexual movements towards me? If your dad wasn't here, yeah. It's like, I can't believe you said that.
That's like a career killing
There's a camera
moment.
crew in there.
That's a career killing moment. It's just that guy does not work there anymore.
You know what I loved as well, when they went to the women's health clinic, and he's basically saying that he's her dad and he put a baby in her and all that sort of stuff, and that guy was just like so straight faced about it all. He did not seem fazed, but he was just like preaching the gospel instead of just being like, okay, this is a situation, it's a woman's body, she can make her own choice. He was like, God's made his decision that you've knocked up your daughter. Like,
I know, yeah, look, what's happened has happened, right? I'm not judging you.
I was just in stitches. The fact that he was just like trying his hard not to sweat about this incestual relationship in front of him.
God.
And the context of it was the fact that she just ate a plastic baby as well.
He would have bathed in holy water after that, honestly. Yeah, like, there's, what else? So there was just so much in this. Like, the whole bits where he's, like, in America and, like, people start recognizing him and, like, oh my God, Borat. I'm like, is that actually happening? You know what I mean? Like,
do you know what? I think it is, because when it came out, people thought Borat was an actual person. The fact that he went to the premiere as Borat as well, like, there were genuinely people out there who think that, like, Ali G and Borat and stuff like that are real people.
Yeah.
They don't realise that it's Sacha Baron Cohen. It's the same way Keith Lemon in the UK, the host of Celebrity Juice. He's not Keith Lemon, that's an actor. Like, he does that every day. It's the guy that did Bo Selector.
Yeah, that was an eye-opening moment for me, because I was one of those people that didn't realise that was an actor. You know what I mean?
I think we were, when we were like 14, like, yeah, you don't realise until you're like, but the fact that he just lives day in, day out as Keith Lemon now, like, that's taking like method acting to the next level. Fucking Daniel Day-Lewis, eat your heart out. You know what I mean? Try being Keith Lemon for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I think those bits were real, where like people were like, "I'll give you $1 for like for an autograph and stuff like that." Because I was thinking, I was like, you can't get away with doing a Borat series anymore.
No,
like,
you can't.
because everybody knows it.
Well, I mean,
and like everybody knows what Sacha Baron Cohen is doing. Well, that's the thing, because he was Borat in disguise. I loved the bit when he was singing at that fucking Trump rally, that Republican rally, and like the shit he was making people sing along to, and they were happily singing along to, comparing themselves to fucking Nazis and shit like that.
Well,
and he was playing a Kazakhstan person doing an impression of an American person.
Yeah, well, it's funny that
layers of that accent blew my mind.
That actual scene, the Sacha Baron Cohen shared, I think it was on his Instagram, showed what actually happened when they did that. And the bit where he runs off the stage isn't because they found his daughter. It's because a guy in the crowd has like a megaphone and starts like screaming at him and starts like hurling abuse at him. And they invade his trailer. He like runs back to the trailer and it shows a video of him holding the door shut as people are trying to get in.
Oh my God.
And he's like, right, we need to go. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. Like, a lot of moments in this film, like there was that bit. There's obviously the Mike Pence talk where that actually happened.
Yeah.
He actually went to that CPAC speech, dressed up as Donald Trump, snuck in. They put the prosthetics on inside of the toilet like they did. And he actually did that. If you type it in on, I think I found it on newsweek.com, you can see like someone else's perspective of what's going on. And you can see the security just like escort him out like almost straight away.
Well, he did the other show. I can't remember what it was called. Like, it wasn't This Is America, but it was something like that. He did that last year where he was interviewing American politicians and stuff like that and basically pranking them like that. And like wearing different disguises and stuff. And for that, like, he would have to like have escape routes out of buildings and stuff like that. And he would have like a safe room that was separate from where the interview was happening, so that when like the Secret Service would come storming in and stuff like that, he was able to escape to, so that he wasn't just taken out by the fucking Secret Service and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like he would have to like get to the room, wait until the corridor was clear, run to like a fire exit, escape down a building into a car that was waiting for him and stuff like that. Like, the lengths he's going to make these fucking political statements are mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's crazy. And obviously there's a few more bits and bobs to do with this film that are quite topical and quite controversial that I think we're probably going to stay away from, seeing as we're a film and TV podcast, the Rudy Giuliani bit, because I know there's a lot of people who are kind of on the fence with what is actually happening there. You know what?
I think he's definitely just messing with his microphone and stuff like that, but it looks so incriminating, like the context that it's put in.
Yeah.
But the fact that Rudy Giuliani has been pranked he's fallen for it so many times from Sacha Baron Cohen, because he did it on his other show as well. And now he's the one making fucking press conferences every day saying that the fucking election's rigged. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is just like, you wonder how some people are real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you are in your own sort of fucking bubble so much. Like, he's such a fucking weirdo. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Should
we talk about The Mandalorian?
Let's talk about The Mandalorian. Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Can you remember Chapter 10, what the episode was called? Because I've totally forgot, Chris.
The Passenger?
The Passenger? I think you might be right. Yes, The Passenger.
Yes.
Correct. Well remembered. We're going to talk
Thank
about
you.
The Passenger.
I'll be here all episodes.
All spoilers for Mandalorian, Chapter 10, right ahead, full steam ahead into the spoiler territory, because what are you doing if you're not watching The Mandalorian over the weekend? You should be watching The Mandalorian over the weekend.
Yeah. Right. This episode gave me major Alien vibes.
Yeah, this was the episode that Peyton Reed directed.
Yeah.
Who did Ant-Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, major Alien vibes, like, trapped in a ship, like, sort of like sci-fi horror-esque almost, like, when those like, the spider creatures are coming after him, I was like, whoa. Like, they were, like, genuinely creepy things.
Yeah.
So these ice cave spiders as well, I want to quickly mention them. We've seen versions of them before, but they were different creatures. So you got the Krykna?
Something like that.
Krykna?
Yeah.
Krykna? We saw them
spiders.
in Rebels, didn't we?
Yeah.
But these ones are closer resembled from the Ralph McQuarrie concept art for Empire Strikes Back. They were going to be on Dagobah. How they had like the funnel mouths and stuff like that. So they were just known in Star Wars fanfiction as knobbly white spiders.
Interestingly enough, I think in they're actually in Knights of the Old Republic, these spiders.
Yeah.
So when you're saying that they're on, did you say Dantooine then? What did you say?
No, I said the concept art was for Dagobah. They were going to be on Dagobah in episode 5.
So I'm pretty certain these spiders are very similar to the Kinrath in Knights of the Old Republic. And basically, they live in caves where they have the
fact that you were just able to pull out the name Kinrath.
They basically in the Force Crystal Caves. So they basically live in there, and it's a very, very similar kind of vibe. So, but I don't know whether it's the exact same.
So we've got a statement from Phil Svostak.
Yeah, very good.
Who is creative art manager at Lucasfilm. So he's the one doing like the concept art and stuff like that for the Mandalorian and doing art for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said this is like an entirely new creature, but all these different spider creatures are all inspired by the original Ralph McQuarrie artwork, which I can send you.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
But like, it was so refreshing though seeing this on live action, because you know that Ralph McQuarrie artwork, how it's like spitting the eggs out of its mouth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got an action figure of that from when I was a kid.
Ooh.
So like, I wanted to get into, there was a tabletop game called Star Wars Miniatures, and they did a Force Unleashed expansion for it, and you fight these creatures in the Force Unleashed. So I've got a weird little knobbly spider like figure like shooting the eggs out of its mouth and stuff. So it's just cool to see it in live action for a change. I like how we're getting all these big massive creatures and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we had the
they
Great
look
Dragon
amazing.
last week. We've got this week. We've had in Mandalorian season 1. You've got the one that lives like the weird sea tusk.
The Razorback, not the Razorback.
No, you're thinking of the.
That's the name of the ship.
Yeah, you're thinking of his symbol.
Yeah, I can't think of what it's called. I heard it earlier.
The Mudhorn.
Mudhorn. There you go.
Yeah, you've got the Mudhorn, and then in the very, very first episode, you've got that. I can't think of what it's called. Like a what they call
the thing under the ice that's breaking through the ice.
Yeah, what's the actual real animal called? Not a sea lion. They're like a
narwhal.
No, not a narwhal. It's like a big fluffy sea lion with big tusks.
Manatee?
No.
Walrus.
Yeah, like a big walrus thing comes out the ice. And...
As soon as you said with tusks, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what it was called. So yeah, big walrus thing comes out the water. I love that. I love all these big creatures and stuff we're getting. Really.
So this episode, yeah, go on.
No, go on, carry on.
I was gonna say, so calling back to season 1 as well. This episode has a massive callback. So obviously he goes to see the engineer on Tatooine again, and the cantina that she's in is the one that we saw in season 1. So it had the robot bartender voiced by Mark Hamill, who doesn't appear in this episode, but the Ant-Man, Dr. Mandibles, as she calls him, is seen in that episode in the background. He's at the bar when Mando's talking to the barmaid. Barmaid. The fucking barman fucking robot thing.
Sorry to interrupt. I apologise if people can hear knocking. I have no idea what's going on.
I was thinking that. I was like, is somebody trying to get someone's attention?
No, you're all right. Carry on.
Dr.
Mandibles.
Yeah, Dr. Mandibles. Also, I like the fact that he was a bigger part of this episode. He is a giant ant, and like you said, Peyton Reed did Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like the giant ant from Ant-Man 2 that plays the drum kit and stuff like that. I thought that was a nice little callback. Also, so the little lizard frog lady that Mando is transporting is in that season 1 episode as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realise.
So they're all... Because it's like in the short space of time, season 1 and stuff, isn't it? So it seems like they're just hanging around in that area and they know the engineer... and like that's how they all come about to join each other. What did you think of like the whole passenger frog lady like having to get a spawn to another planet?
I thought there was going to be a bit more to something where Baby Yoda was eating the spawn. I thought more was going to come of that, apart from him being like just eating it. You know what I mean? I thought because he was using the Force on them and he was clearly quite interested in them. I thought maybe they were going to turn out to be fake or something like that, and that was going to be the twist.
Well, so a lot of people are sort of theorizing online that maybe he's not eating them to just like eat them. Maybe he's like consuming them to like keep them inside of him, you know, keep them safe, like how she wanted to do, like how they needed to be warm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are theorizing that maybe because like you said, is it him using the Force, or are they just sort of like attracted to him through the glass when they start to move towards him? And how he keeps doing it even though he's told no and he's getting fed enough and stuff like that, like the Mandalorian says. Like, he doesn't really need to eat these things, and the fact that he doesn't chew on them like he does with the spider. You notice with the spider when he eats that, like, he's proper munching it and tearing it apart and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas with the eggs, he's literally just putting them in his mouth and swallowing them whole. And he does it in front of the mum at the end as well. Like, I know it's sort of like he's almost hidden by the Mando's body, but she definitely knows that he did it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
So it's like she seems kind of okay with it. She's not kicking off about her kids being eaten, is she?
No. Well, it's yeah. I just thought there was going to be more to that bit.
But she is also the one that we saw in the trailer. You know, when we're on the water planet. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us thought that might be Mon Cala because we've got the squid-like creatures and we've got some Mon Calamari on there.
Oh yeah, true.
But we found out it's a different planet. I can't remember the name of it. But we see a smaller one with the backpack on its back, which I'm going to assume now is the female frog lady that he was transporting. And we saw an older one. We thought it might have been like a mother and daughter that he was helping transport or something.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's going to be her husband. That's going to be the male species is taller and bigger, obviously. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting, like, that we found out, like, through this, we found out a lot of things about the trailer that we were trying to guess, like, is this Mon Cala? Who are these creatures with the glowing backpack and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. So little things are starting to unfold now, and starting to piece together a thing in our heads. Also, this wasn't Ilum like a lot of us were predicting.
Yeah, I did have a feeling that it could have been. Before we talk about that, we did get the reintroduction of Dave Filoni as Wolf, which is a nice little nod to
so cool.
Him being obsessed with wolves because of Rebels, because of Ahsoka Tano, and all that kind of business.
Yep.
That was cool.
So cool. It's good to have him in, like, just giving him the thanks.
Yeah, for sure. And, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, I thought it was going to be Ilum, because I thought when they were starting to go looking around, then it was clear that they weren't going to be getting off the planet anytime soon. The next thing I thought we would have seen was, like, when he was going into those caves, that they would have found, like, crystals or something, or, like, something from Fallen Order. Because you start to see all those little things start to get pieced together now. Like, you'll see, like, little nods to stuff, how we're getting nods to Boba Fett being back. I thought, do a little nod to Ilum because of Fallen Order. That'd be cool. I mean,
a lot of us thought that it might tie into Ahsoka Tano as well, how she is protecting, and like maybe this was how it was going to link to maybe Fallen Order, because there was Roose rumors of maybe what's his name, Kaden Jarrus, was it? No, Kaden Jarrus is.
Kanan Jarrus is the blind
from Rebels.
From Rebels,
yeah. What's the guy from Fallen Order called?
Cal Kestis.
Rumors that maybe he could be appearing in a show sometime soon, and he's now trying to protect the next generation of Jedi as well. So a lot of us thought maybe they were doing that on Ilum because it is such an important place to the Jedi, where, like you said, they get the Kyber crystals from. Mm-hmm. So maybe we still see Ilum down the line, because I think there might be a bit more ice footage from the trailer that we've not seen. I'm not entirely sure on that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff from the trailer that we've not seen yet. We've not seen the where he's on the boat. Not seen that.
We're gonna assume at this point that's going to be the next episode, while he's still got the passenger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that next episode could see the introduction of Sabine. Wren.
Okay, that'd be cool.
And
they're looking for more Mandalorians. They have information on finding more Mandalorians, don't they? So
yeah, from the trailer we know that is on like that ship dock that we see what we think might be Sabine in the shadows, and also he was given the hint by Dr. Mandibles that Mandalorians were on that planet. That's why he was going there, and then he got the tag along of the frog lady. So I reckon next episode is going to like kick into gear like the major through plot for the rest of the season.
Yeah. It's certainly racking up to be an interesting. I liked how we got a bit of a breather story wise to this, because I felt like there was so much in that first episode between the Boba reveal, between the crate dragon, between all that.
It was very plot heavy the first episode, wasn't it? Whereas this one was a bit more sort of like, this is just a small like bottle episode almost, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was almost like a nice change of pace. So no, really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Also, I liked the beginning, like the bit at the beginning where he basically gets held up by those outlaws.
Oh,
and he tricks him with the jetpack.
Yeah. That whole thing where he chucks the jetpack up in the air and then it falls down and that was good. Really enjoyed that.
And also the little one that holds Baby Yoda hostage, and that is the same race that screams at Rey at the beginning of episode 7. When she's cleaning the junk and stuff.
It is. I thought I recognised it. Yeah.
Well, we love our little callbacks to the wider universe. This is turning into like sort of like a little Easter egg hunt. This podcast,
this whole bloody TV show is a big Easter egg hunt, really, isn't it?
It's a big frog lady egg hunt. That's
funny.
something that I watched the other day. I can't remember if I talked about it on the last podcast. I watched Ready Player One.
Oh, you rewatched Ready Player One?
Do you know what? It's a good film.
It is.
Like it's not amazing, and it is like heavily just like nostalgia jacking off, you know what I mean? But it's a fucking good film, Our
friend Lawrence from the Get Real Gaming podcast loves Ready Player One.
Yeah, so I haven't read all of the book yet. I think I got like 5 chapters into it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The book seems better and it seems a bit more earnest. It's a joke because it's also written by Ernest Cline. Yeah, I think the film wasn't 100% there in terms of like the book and stuff like that, but it's a fucking good film,
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think it deserved to be as slated as it was, and it's fun like finding all the Easter eggs in it, like the hunting for Easter eggs in the film, but also the Easter eggs of all the different game characters and stuff. I was like, haha. I noticed a lot more second time around. Anyway, back to the end of The Mandalorian.
It's funny where there's a lot where if you hit subtitles on, which I found that I had to a couple of times during this, it says that she speaks frog and makes frog noises and stuff like that. So it's quite on the nose with stuff like that.
See, I thought to begin with she looked more like a gecko.
Yeah.
She looked like a really gecko-shaped head, but I know there are also like forest frogs and stuff like that which have that sort of head, so I was like, oh yeah. And then when she does the frog jump at the end when they're running away, I thought that was like really funny how she goes from like running like a human, she's like, oh fuck this shit, like frog running.
What did you think about the whole rebels saving them at the end? Like how he basically like they save him and then they're like, you should get that transponder fixed, and then he was like, and then he came back with a really witty comment, and then they just like flew off and didn't help him. Oh, he was like, yeah, you can pick up that hydro spanner or whatever, and help me weld my ship together if you want as well. And then they just get back in and fly off. It's like, yeah.
They were clearly like just doing the duty. Like they should really bring this guy in because he's got an arrest warrant for murder and kidnapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, you did save one of our own, like for us in a previous episode, like on when they have the breakout episode from the jail in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And like they call into question all this stuff, so like, okay, we'll let you off this one time type thing, like we'll let you escape type thing, but we're not gonna help you. Like us leaving you alive is us helping you.
Yeah.
Or us not arresting you is us helping you.
You know what we forgot to talk about at the beginning of this episode?
What?
We forgot to talk about the new Lego Star Wars Holiday Special trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, that's why.
Should we talk about it next week?
Should I watch it right now?
No, we'll talk about it next week because we're at the end. We're in the wrong section anyway, so we'll talk about it next week. It's just came up on a feed, and I was. It's very interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I saw it and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I think that kind of wraps us up. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about with this. Don't think so.
I can't think so. Yeah, we kind of spoke about where it might leave us for next episode. So yeah, I think we're done with that. there wasn't a whole lot to talk about in this episode. It was just cool little tie backs to like deep lore in the universe, which us two fucking sweaty nerds will love.
Yeah, literally. Right.
Also,
yeah.
the action and the CGI in this was just spot on.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Mandalorian just sets a staple now. I think that whole.
I think it just looks so much better this season.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think they've also gone to the like letterbox aspect ratio for most of it as well.
Yeah, because it was interesting how it switched aspect ratios in episode 1 as well for this season. But anyway, that wraps us up, Chris. Let us know what you thought of The Mandalorian. Are you watching it with us? Have we become a Mandalorian podcast? The answer is probably yes for the
Because
foreseeable.
nothing else is happening right now.
Make sure you check us out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at GetRealPod. You can email us at GetRealPodUK. And don't forget to check out our sister podcast, Get Real Gaming. Those guys are killing it. They're on their 4th episode coming up after this one. And yeah, really good. Really good if you're into all your gaming and things like that. They are a lot more knowledgeable about it than what we are, so that's why they do get the Get Real Gaming podcast. Anyway, Chris, how can people support the podcast, us, and Get Real Gaming?
The best way to support either podcast is to share us around to as many people as you can, but also leave us a rate and review on whichever podcast network you listen to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything like that. Best place for us, though, is if you go to Podchaser and you leave a rate and review on that, it'll syndicate it to all the other different platforms like iHeartRadio and like all the other like distant ones that we post to. So if you could leave us a rate and review, that would be amazing. That gets us also up the charts as well, so more people will discover us. But like I said, share us out on Instagram. Put us on your Instagram story. So we share a post on Instagram every time an episode goes live. Don't know if you follow us on Instagram yet. Get Real Pod UK. Get Real Pod on Insta. Follow us on there, and then literally it's just like a little like paper airplane. Just click that and you can share it to your story. It's one click. That's all you have to do, and more people hear about us. It's the best thing you can do to support us, which means we can keep growing, we can keep getting better, we can keep bringing this podcast to your lovely moist ear holes.
That made
like
me feel
the
a bit
frog
uneasy.
lady from The Mandalorian. She had very moist looking ear spheres.
That made me feel a little bit uneasy.
That's a callback to another podcast that I used to listen to as well. Shout out to Sam Basher.
Okay, very good. Right, take care, stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye now.